We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Yes, sir. We'll do it live. Let's jump right into it, man. Because as you know, these pastors can be stopped. They're doing everything live in front of everyone, sitting and all. RJ.
Yeah, man, it's all. And in today's episode, we're gonna talk indeed about about we're gonna talk about some pastors amongst other things. But Cat Williams did say that there were pastors who are part of the Big D Deviant Club. Guys, before we proceed, remember to rate the show by pressing the like button. Follow us on our socials and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. KR, let's move on to the first topic.
The big D. Well, he always has the inside story. Let's start with a crazy story we came across, because this is a trending story this last week. 63-year-old pastor married an 18-year-old turned 19. We are talking here about the bishop Dwight Reed. By the way, I said pastor, but it's a bishop. Dwight Reed, who married his first lady, Jordan, who's 18. You want to see how they look? Let's take a look at the happy couple. Oh man, this is crazy, yo.
It's really bad.
This is crazy. RJ.
Yeah, man. When I read a caption like that, when I read the caption and it says 63-year-old bishop, I thought we were talking about Don Juan, but this is like a real a real bishop being alleged of doing the same things. Um, more or less. You know, age is nothing but a number until you get convicted. what we what we what we see a lot of times is that and I think you talked about it in the past, right? That you have like this um graph that shows how women, so what age range women prefer when looking for a man. So based on their age range, so the older they get, what they look for, and you do see a trend, like you see a trend that they look for older, and but you see that men,
Their age or a little bit older, yeah.
their age or a little bit older, but when you look at men, it's gets stuck at a certain age, right? So it's always around the 20 something to the 30 something year old.
Yeah.
I do think that I mean, we're gonna dive deeper into this story, but context matters, you know, KR. By the way, Madonna is also dating a younger man, and there are a lot of other. We talk about the as Cat Williams refers. So what Cat Williams refers to as the Big D Deviant Club, but there's also some Big P deviants running wild out here. So
I
it does beg the question whether or not this is ethical, because there are either certain people that are alleging illegalities. So we're going to talk about that in this show: ethical, legal, and what we think. But proceed, KR.
No, but you forgot someone very important. The most trending
TDC.
one also. No. TD was going to Diddy parties. We're not talking about TD. This is
Allegedly
not
as
a
well,
Diddy
right?
show. What? He's,
Allegedly as well.
no. You went to the white parties. Let me see. TD Jakes.
Look at you, man. They're gonna use this clip. They're gonna use. They're gonna
Crazy.
use.
I don't know.
TD wasn't even part of today's show.
Yeah, he wasn't part of the day. Shout out to TD though. TD. That sounds like, well, anyway. Um,
PTD.
P- Yo, he playing with it, man. Yo, pause. Yo, what the heck are we doing? Let's focus on
Come on.
what the topic is for
Yeah,
today,
yeah,
which is this crazy 63-year-old who thinks it's a good idea to marry a 19-year-old. So what are we doing? What are we talking about? Uh, I
yeah.
wanted to respond to you. So the person you forgot to mention is a 60-year-old actor who's looking for a toy boy or
Boy,
someone to a boy toy
oh,
or
Vivian
or or
Fox.
or she's not looking for a younger guy. She's looking for someone who can assist her in shopping because that's what she said. Bruh,
Spoiled.
you're 60-year-old. Come on, you're asking the same thing as a 20-year-old. Guess. Come on, I'm gonna say it. I guess this why this pastor went for the 20-year-old
Yeah, I guess
because
so.
the 60-year-old was asking the same as her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
you probably can bring the 90-year-old to Zara instead of buying a instead of buying a Gucci.
No, man, it's
No,
no,
all
man. But
jokes
the story
aside,
of
all
this
jokes aside.
bishop is crazy. Yeah, yeah, that's
It's crazy, and he had a couple of things to say about this because this guy is a pastor, so he has the mic in his hand, and he's gonna stand up for his wife because it's his wife. Let's hear what he has to say.
Do if you see her.
Fair use.
Well, you will see me on the news. Let me just tell you that right now. Talking about what you gonna do if you see her. You better walk by and say, praise the Lord. That's what you better do. Cause that's my wife. And she grown. She didn't need nobody to sign no paperwork for her.
Bro,
God.
this is crazy. He's smiling. He's smiling. You know he's cooking.
If out in the streets, y'all be saying she made a come up.
Again, I'm gonna repeat that one.
If this was out in the streets, y'all be saying she made a come up.
She found her a provider. I don't know where this is going. He's
being with
smiling.
him, being with this pastor, she checked two boxes at the same time, Kier.
Tell me
She's
which one.
getting a
This is the
salary.
lawyer There's
She's
this
getting,
lawyer angle
getting-
coming up.
she's getting a salary and a pension. It's like
Oh man. Hey man. Hey. I'm pretty sure she'll outlive him, and she might inherit this church.
But KR, what do you think about the age gap thing?
I think it's a bit excessive, though. I don't have a problem with age gap in general. I mean, my parents, there is an age gap there. So, and well, by the way, not 40-year. There's no 40-year age gap. There's a big difference there. But it's what you usually see is that women tend to like we talked about in a previous show. Women tend to go more for experienced, settled guys rather than younger guys, unless they are single after 30 or 40. That's when they try to go more for the younger guy. If you look at it from in general. But the age gap is not something I'm really concerned about. If people, as long as it's legal, it's a choice. Because the thing is this, right? We always claim people are adults after they're 18. Either you accept that they can make their own decisions, or you gotta move that age of being an adult, higher. But if you do the latter, it's gonna become a very complicated situation. People always, the road to hell is always paved with good intentions. And
Yeah.
yeah, what do you think?
Well, as I understand, actually, as I've been reading, the age of consent to get married in Iowa is 16.
Mhm.
The question is, again, legal and moral. And this is a very complicated, it's a very complicated and loaded question
You need to
because
settle.
there are 8 different kinds of 18-year-olds. You have 18-year-olds, 18.
You said you have different. Oh, I thought you said
Different,
you have
no, you have
eight
different,
different
no,
types.
no.
Okay,
You have different kinds,
count. Okay. Yeah.
18-year-olds, but you
Mm.
can group them in roughly two categories for the purpose of this discussion. You have an 18-year-old that has a lot of experience in life because he or she was forced to grow up from a young age. For example, parents weren't there. So you hear the stories about the oldest child having to take over the role of the mom or the dad because the mom and dad aren't there or maybe are physically there
Smoking
but
crack.
yes. Well, I was trying to work to not say that, but yeah, smoking crack or something to that extent. And so you can get a very mature 18-year-old, but you can also get an 18-year-old who hasn't experienced anything in life, who's
Yep.
still a kid inside. And so the age thing is what people always look at, but people need to understand. And as a lawyer, I understand it. And that's the difference between legal and moral, legality and morality. Legally, you need to put a, or at least the law had to put um,
A limit.
not a limit, well, not a limit, but just an age.
An
Had to
age.
just put an age where someone is considered to be legal.
Mhm.
And legal brings has consequences with it. For example, when you're legal, or at least when you're legal of age according to the law, you can do certain things. For example, drinking is 21 years old, driving is 16, but you can get in the US, but you can get your driver's permit with 16 when you're 16. Um, the age where you can enter into contracts, you can decide to rent something by yourself without needing the approval of your parent. So that's what legality has to do with. And so the 18 is so the age of consent according to the laws in Iowa is 16. Is it too young? I would argue that it is, but there's no law saying that, for example, the age of consent is 16, but the other person has to be like a maximum of 18 or 19 years old to keep the gap small. It doesn't say that. So I don't think so. It's not, doesn't seem like there's anything illegal here. Now, I don't know how long they know each other, because that's also an argument. There's
Well,
also an argument.
apparently she was. He has a school. There is a school, and she was part of that school since
Yeah.
young. So,
So some people are saying yeah, and that's why I believe some people are saying that, uh, and understandably so, they're saying or they're suspecting that he was grooming her or that he had an eye on her since she was below the age of 18. But that's of course speculation. We don't know what the reality is,
yeah.
but it does. And that this has to do more with morality and ethics, right? So do you want your child to be in a school where the pastor or one of the leaders ends up marrying another kid that's the same age as your daughter? I wouldn't want that.
Mhm.
And so, as a lawyer and as a judge as well, I'm not a judge, but as a lawyer, I'm just saying judges do that as well. You have a responsibility on how you present yourself.
Mhm.
You can't be talking reckless. And so I believe to that extent, the bishop also had that responsibility. And that responsibility entailed that, hey, there's a lot of fishes in the sea. You can't, so leave this woman alone at 18 or 19 for sure, because the 18 or 19-year-old, even one that's more matured, is still not as matured as a 22, a 23, a 26, a 30-year-old. But then that comes the discussion. Where do you draw the line? We can't go and check with everyone. Okay, in her situation, 18 is okay. In her situation, it needs to be 23. It doesn't work like that. But I just, yeah. So I say all that to say, legally, I don't see that nothing was wrong, at least not until now. Ethically, morally, I think the pastor should have uh, stayed away from her.
Yeah, I understand that. I basically also agree. I mean, 40, almost 40. She could have been his granddaughter.
Yeah. If I see the picture, if and I didn't know any better, I would say it was either father daughter or grandfather granddaughter relationship.
Yeah, but I think this is
Definitely.
the thing. In this case, I think he has um he has chose to go this route. Um, don't forget, you people always say love conquers all. Some people say that. You have to if you say something and it has to apply all over the board. I'm not saying that I believe in that. It has to apply all over the board. You can't say love conquers all one time and the other time it doesn't.
Yeah.
Or age is just a limit and the other time it doesn't. Either you agree or you disagree.
Yeah. But not everything is that's illegal is considered, sorry. Not not everything that's legal is necessarily right
More.
or
Yeah,
correct.
I know.
But right and correct, that's subjective because you might think it's right, other person no. What
Yeah.
I hope is the following. I don't think they will divorce. I don't think they're gonna, I mean, yeah, they're just married. What I hope from the bottom of my heart is that the bishop treats her well, respects respects her boundaries, and does not go power trip on her, because I think that's the fear that people have. You know, when you have someone with way more experience, man or woman, that person has gone through more in life, so has more emotional intelligence, or oftentimes more intelligence, and more knows more, has more experiences, knows more, let me call them tricks, knows more ways to handle things, and some people can't uh, contain themselves. They will overpower the other person, and I just hope that that doesn't happen. They're already married, and they've already done it. Let's just keep it real. I mean, you can't go back. But what he can and should, that's what I hope actually, is that the marriage is still yeah, that the marriage goes good. That's the least that you can hope.
Yeah, I wanted to talk something else as well, but I don't think let's
Yeah, you
go
can.
to the well, well, no, let's go to the next pastor. Jamal. Jamal Bryant, who has elevated his co-pastor Carrie Turner uh, to a first lady.
Mm, it's a beautiful thing, right?
It's a beautiful thing until you hear the backstory. Um, as we always do, we sometimes take a look at um, the stories that Tasha K tells, and she had a bit of information she wanted to share. I'm again here. I'm gonna only play the audio because she's been known to strike people, and it's hard to strike or find a notification when Dua Penotti is in screen. For those who don't know, Google Dua Penotti. Anyway, this is what she has to say. Uh, I'll say this: fair use and Tasha. Uh, shout out to you. Don't try to take our channel down. Otherwise, nothing will happen.
It's gonna be
Anyway.
Beautiful BBL Dr. KaiR here, who is his KaiR Turner, who is his co-pastor at New Birth. He promoted her from emergent pastor to youth pastor to now she is co-pastor, and she is on trips with him in Fort Lauderdale on the church's money, and they get a little put in deal on the side.
fair use.
And have been, according to sources, since 2017. Now, apparently the church and a lot of people that used to work for the church and stuff have thanked me because they have been trying to figure out first what happened to Tweet. It's okay, Jasmine. Take your time. There we go. What happened to Tweet? I knew he didn't. What happened? People were trying to figure out, and it was Dr. KaiR that happened, allegedly, and it was Amber Ty from Country Wayne skits.
Hey, you're such a great Country Wayne supporter. I don't know who these people are, by the way.
Right.
Do you know what's her name? Ty?
Amber, Amber Ty. Yeah.
Ty Pat?
No, Amber Ty.
Okay.
I know. Yeah, I do follow Country Wayne. I am a big fan of his. I also both his comedy, but mostly his business savviness and it's in depth. I do like the way he thinks and the moves he's making. So I really like. I really follow him for that and what he's done on his Country Wayne channel because he used to do skits. But the skits where he played a central role, but what he's done throughout the last couple of years was basically creating a soap on YouTube where other people have more appearances than him. And the soap is just great. Now, do I watch all the storylines? No. But I think that's the power of what he's doing. He has so much storylines that you're bound to watch, one of them. I don't watch, anyway, I'm not gonna say what I don't watch. But to answer the question, I do know Amber Ty. Oh, and what's also interesting about the moves he's make Country Wayne mates, usually when you're acting you take on a different name, but in Country Wayne the people keep their own name. So in Country Wayne her name is Amber. It's probably not Amber Ty, maybe the last name they changed, but her name is Amber, and she has she's one of the people. So if you have like various tiers, I think Rolanda was one of the people in the first tier, one of the early people who worked with Country Wayne. But Amber was also pretty early in the soap. Let's call it the soap era, for sure. So I have to say that I was a bit shocked when I saw that she was also
mentioned in this.
Mentioned as someone who allegedly had a relationship with or something else with Pastor Jamal.
Jamal, aka I'm gonna go there.
Bookie Bryant. Right.
It was also phrase report.
Okay, so you're like, if he's not gonna say it, I'm gonna say it.
Uh,
Parks. Jamal, Bryant. All of these women, and this is the reason why he won't make the BBL not the main bitch, but he can give her a co-pastor position that's as close to the wife as you gonna get, bitch. Okay, now you know what's really bad about this whole union is that Dr. Kari, BBL co-pastor here, used to date and was engaged to Marvin Sapp. Take your time, Jasmine. It's okay. It's a lot of pictures here. It's a tree. Yeah, and Marvin Sapp and Jamal Bryant are best friends and apparently used to do heavy alleged orgies together.
Anyway, that's her story. But these pastors are passing people around like the collection plate.
yeah. Apparently, allegedly.
Do you trust someone like that to pray for you,
Hell no.
for you to enter the pearly gates when you're doing a dirt nap?
Yeah, no. I don't usually KR, and maybe that's weird of me, but I don't find anything appealing about the mega churches.
Mm.
I'd rather go to especially if they're doing like the old prosperity gospel thing, I'd rather go to a conference where David Goggins is speaking, or anyone, if I'm gonna look for motivation, to be honest, because it oftentimes seems like people are using, or should I say, misusing the Bible and the Word of God to do whatever they want with it. Um, and what is very interesting, someone told me this in the past,
Mm.
and it really stuck to me. How you and I, for example, you and I are the same. We meet each other, we don't know each other. So we are at the same level. I don't think anything peculiar of you. You don't think anything peculiar. If for you, money is important and I have a lot of money, you will see me as being better than you. And for me, for example, if being in shape was important to me, I would see you as being better than me. So that's how people oftentimes we say that we're all equal, but in the end of the day, when we're interacting with each other in society, that's how people think, consciously or subconsciously.
Yep.
Same goes with churches. You and I, let's say if you are a believer and I tell you I'm not a believer, then you will see me maybe as less, or not a believer, me going to hell, whatever.
Mhm.
If I tell you that I'm also a believer, you will see me as being, let's say, equal.
Mhm.
But if I tell you that I am a pastor, you might see me as being not better, but maybe higher in the social in ranks.
Mhm.
What's the reason for that? That's the very interesting thing about being a pastor, because money, you can work hard and you can get as much as money as me or more. But the interesting thing about being a pastor is I only need to grab a book and tell you that I can teach you how you can be better in what you want to be better in. And I can teach you how you can reach heaven. Indirectly saying you can reach heaven through me, or you can be a better person through me. We don't break it down like that, because if you have a discussion with someone, they will say, no, of course, we know that it's not through you. In Christianity, in Christianity, so the Christians believe that through Jesus, they will go to heaven. So if I tell you, well, I can teach you exactly what God wants and what Jesus wants for you to go to heaven, and you believe me, I just need you to believe me. And then I have a certain level of control over you. And to become a lawyer, I had to study law, I had to practice law, I had to gain experience in law, and I need to work to get a reputation. To become a pastor, I can decide tomorrow that I will be a pastor. I'll call myself a pastor. And if you believe me, then I have like seriously, I just need you to believe me that I'm your pastor, and I have power and influence. Influence. Let's not call it power. I have at least influence over you. So when I see all these mega churches, it's not appealing to me. But a lot of people, that's appealing to them, like to be
Yep.
part of a mega church, and you never know who the pastor is, and there have been countless and countless and countless of. So you have good pastors, and when I say a good pastor or bishop, I would say that's someone that has a positive influence in your life. You know,
Mhm.
that's not there to, that has a positive influence in your life, point blank, period.
Yeah.
But there are also a lot of examples of people who
Yes.
misuse the position. And
Yep.
people just follow the pastor, because if you don't follow the pastor, then hey, the pastor knows best. And that's how people ended up drinking the Kool-Aid, except for the pastor.
You went there.
Yeah, of course you need to.
You didn't claim he was a pastor, though.
What was he then? He was a
A
leader, a
leader,
spiritual
leader of a cult, spiritual
Same
leader. Well,
same
okay.
thing,
Well, you
same
didn't
difference.
use the same word, but I do agree with you on that. I do agree with you on that. People misuse that. He was the leader of a cult. One can argue that certain cults use the word pastor as well, but yeah, I
By
do
the
agree
way,
with you on that. Hmm?
by the way, the cult, because we call it cult, right? When it's not like a religion, we say cult. It's called the People's Temple of the Disciples of Christ.
Yes.
So does have to do, so that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't need to call yourself something, you just need to convince someone that
That
you
you're all
can
the
teach
leader.
them
Yeah.
how to get there. You just need to stand between. So if you have God here and you have people here, you just need to so God at the top, people at the bottom, you just need to position yourself in the middle. That's a pastor. A pastor, what's a pastor? Pastor guides
He's
the
the
sheep.
middleman.
No, the
He's the
pastor
middleman.
guides. The
He's
pastor
the
is the
plug.
one that guides the sheeps. Needs to not only guides them but also protect them. That's what a pastor does. So I need to guide you, but I also need to protect you. I need to make sure that wolves don't come and eat you. I need to make sure that you don't injure yourself. I need to make sure that you eat. So that's the role. That's the responsibility. But now, shepherds are asking sheeps for 10% of their grass. I mean, you can. There's a logic to that, but then it just gets lost, and people forget that at the end of the day, it's God and them, and they have this religion. I believe that's why these things happen. And when
Would you
things
say?
happen, yeah,
Would you say then that the pastors are out of control?
I wouldn't say pastors are out of control, but
The narcissists.
I'll say that they're always out of control. I say that I say pastors. There are, a lot. I would say some popular pastors are out of control. Yeah.
Hmm.
And again, it comes, and how can it happen? Machiavelli wrote it too in his
The prince.
in this book, The Prince. He talked about The Prince is a book that talks about how a leader or people at the top of a country or jurisdiction
Prince
control,
going towards king and being a king.
be a king,
Yeah.
but how you can control people, right? Through fear. It talks about fear and respect and all those things. And he talked about various types of states. And one state that he said was a very interesting state was the I forgot what it's called, but it's a state that has a religious figure at the top. So you usually have states where you can have a monarch, you can have a government, for example, but you also have states used to have. I think the Vatican is still one, right? That has I don't if it's, the Vatican is a independent state. It's not part of Italy, but you have states that have a spiritual leader at the top. And he said the those states are the most difficult to to
Submit.
infiltrate or to make. No, it in that case it was more about how you can create division in the state so you can conquer power. And he said that's going to be very difficult in a state that has a religious figure at the top, because people subconsciously view that leader as a representative of God. And that person can do whatever he wants to, and people will still say they will find a way, they will trick themselves into believing that there's a reason why he did that.
Sheesh.
And it's the same with pastors.
Sheesh. You're explaining the relationship between Drake and his fans. Let's close this topic. Close this topic. I think you gave a good explanation, man. There's nothing more for me to add. I do agree with you on that. Um, you have to be very careful who you follow. That's as always. That's one thing we always say at this show. Um, don't follow blindly, because
Yeah.
sheeps will be led to slaughter.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go to the, as usual, guys, the Reddit story. The Reddit
Yes.
story which RJ
Alright.
will share with us.
Yes. Hey guys, before we proceed with this segment, remember to share your opinions with us. Let us know your thoughts and opinions on the story I'm gonna talk about right now. This is a story I found on Reddit, and I'll show the banner now. Girlfriend. Whoa, wait, that's not it.
That's not it. I was about to say.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Do
Oh,
we
I
have
didn't
a
say
story?
it. Yeah, we have a story, but I did. That's weird. I had it. I tested it and everything. That's weird.
Well,
Let me write the caption real quick.
yeah. While you're writing the caption, these Reddit stories are stories that RJ always looks up, and these stories are always very entertaining in general. And I'm trying to fill the time while he's trying
I
to
got
type.
it.
No pressure at all. Type faster. You're a very slow typer for a lawyer. Dude, come on, man. Come on, man.
No, I can do two things at once, right?
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Okay, I got it. I got
I
it.
can only show you the door.
Yes! Here we go!
Thank you for all the sound effects, KR. I really hope that I tested it and everything, man. Yes, it's okay. Is wife wrong for separating her finances from her husband?
Oh.
Usually we hear guys wanting to separate their money from their wives, but this is the other one. So the story goes as follows. And guys, thanks for your patience. Me and my husband have been together for over 9 years, and separating our finances never occurred to me until this past year.
Oh, she's gonna break up.
I'm the saver and he's the spender. In the beginning, it didn't
Wait a
bother
second.
me.
Wait a second. She is saying I'm the man and he's the bee. Continue. I'm trying to translate for everyone.
And
Continue.
in the beginning, it didn't bother me because we had two incomes and wasn't rich but lived comfortably. We weren't rich but lived comfortably. His family has always, quote unquote, borrowed money from us, but rarely ever paid that money back. I personally don't lend money, not even to family, but I do not stop him from lending to his. A few years ago, my husband was in a bad car wreck and no longer work. So I became the sole breadwinner. Oh, you might be right on that one, KR. He now gets disability. He gets a disability check. But that was a 4-year process. In that time, we dwindled our savings to nothing and came close to losing everything. Our debt mounted, and there was nothing I could do. When he received his back pay, I only asked him to pay off his vehicle loan, in which I've paid over 50 grand on in the last few years. The rest of the money I asked him to deposit in our savings. KR, guess what he did?
He lent it out.
He did neither. Instead, he blew the money,
Oh,
loaning over 10 grand to his family and paying nothing towards the debt we created.
what the heck?
So he got, from all the money he got, he loaned 10,000 to his family, and the rest he blew. During this time, I was able to save some money from my paycheck, but not much, and had plans to pay some debts off once I have enough saved. He knew I was saving to this. About a month ago, I noticed over 700 missing out of our savings, and I asked him what happened. He replied by saying, "What had happened was I loaned it to my parents."
But
I
what
asked
are you doing? He's siphoning money away.
I asked when he was going to receive it back because the money was already spent and I needed it. He said, "I don't know when they can afford to do so."
Bro.
I blew up and lost my ish. He didn't ask me. We didn't speak about it. He did it behind my back because he knew I would be pissed off
Bro.
and that I would say no. We had a huge fight. I figure after that fight, he would stop. But no. Yesterday, I checked my bank account and another $1,000 was gone. Gone where, you ask? According to him, he gave it to his parents. I'm so mad I see red. Red. I flat out told him that as of today, I'm done with his parents. I'll pay half the household bills, buy our food, and that's it. If he wants to lend all his disability to them, fine, but I'm not gonna go bust my behind 60 hours a week so he can keep giving our money away. So, am I wrong for going to the bank and withdrawing all the money I put there and opening a new account he doesn't have access to? He seems to think that I am and says that I should want to make his parents happy. I would like to see them happy. I just don't want to pay for that happiness.
Yo.
KR.
Yo. Sorry for the next words I'm gonna use. If there are kids in the room, close their ears. Fuck you and your parents, my nigga. Nah. This is out of. I think. First of all, if this was a man, I would say the same thing I'm gonna say now. So if this was a man with a woman like this, you shouldn't stay with this person. A leopard doesn't change its spots. This person is a loser. I don't know why you're still with him. You think he's gonna find a way? First of all, you married. You can separate it, but if you're gonna divorce him later on, he has a right to that pot as well. So you might as well, if you're gonna stay. I don't know. Did she say they had kids?
Mm, no, I didn't hear read anything about kids. Seems like it's just the two of
If
them.
there are no kids, why you're together with this loser? Sorry. Good luck to him with his disability. I think that's the thing that she's
Yeah, holding her back because she doesn't want to appear like a like
sometimes
she's
you have
abandoning him.
Sometimes you have to choose for yourself because this loser is gonna thank you and him. Dude,
Yeah.
what are you giving? If your parents cannot live with the money they're making,
What I suggest, not suggest, what I suspect is happening is that he's guilt tripping her,
yeah,
and she's also feeling guilty about it.
bruh,
And
bruh,
of course, you don't want to be the woman that leaves her husband when he's disabled. But
bruh.
I think the woman has proof that she's doing everything in her power to, keep them afloat despite the man not being able to work. The least that the guy can do is make her life better. When you get married, or at least, yeah, less heavy. When you get married, your priority becomes your spouse. Point blank, period. When you're not married, you can say, you know what, I'm taking care of my parents and so on and so forth. When you're married, you're committed to your spouse. So your priority needs to be your spouse. Your you can only help other people if you are okay. And if you aren't okay, you have no business helping, well, other people in a way that will hamper your growth and the life of your family. I'm not saying that you shouldn't help an old lady cross the street. I'm just saying when you're helping the old lady, just stand aside and say, "You can do it, ma'am." Because if you touch her
Uh,
hand, that's
I
the
know
case.
where you're going. This is
All jokes
motivational,
aside, yeah,
motivational guy. You can
you,
do it.
you can do
I
it.
believe in you. I believe in you. Hey, yo. But all jokes aside, right? One caveat. We are talking about the story as she's writing it. We also know that some stories are disformed by certain people sometimes. We're not gonna assume that in this case. We are gonna assume that what she's saying is the full story. I'm not gonna sit here and try to see if there is another thing. But hey, man, some people are like this. You gotta cut off that weight,
Yeah.
or or no, I'm not gonna make that joke. I'm not gonna make that joke.
Yeah. I think she's not wrong, and I think she's indirectly asking. I mean, you shouldn't be done with the family. You should be done with him. The family didn't do you anything. At the end of the day, even if the family is saying we need the money, it's him.
She loves
It's
him too
him
much.
that's yeah, that's wrong. So I think she needs to stay focused on the problem, and that's
The bigger question is: are they together trauma bonding, which makes it hard for her to let go?
well,
That's the thing with these stories. They don't tell you the full palette of the. I mean, you
yeah,
only have a couple of limited characters, of course, but
I understand what you're saying, but I don't think there's trauma bonding in this case because it seems like when they got together, both of them had money, and if the guy didn't get into an accident, then it wouldn't have.
no,
Uh,
before. So the relation is based on trauma bonding, which makes it hard to separate from each other.
yeah, yeah. Well, that technology.
Any person with two brain cells would have already cut bait. I mean, not saying that she's not smart, but she needs to choose for herself because at the end
Those
of the
sound,
day, that person's gonna sink them both.
yes.
Sometimes it's like Titanic. You know what happened when the girl who loved the guy so much, when he started becoming frozen, she said, "Thank you, but you're not gonna drag me down."
Yeah.
Moved his arm slowly, and then he went down.
Yeah. Bye, Jack.
Leonardo, where are
Don't
you?
don't go, Jack.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know the character name. I know it's Leonardo DiCaprio, a
Yeah, it was
young
Jack.
one. That's when he started imposing his limits as well on the the cap of who he's dealing with. Anyway, hey, let's go. Let's close this. Let's close this.
Segment. Yeah, let's move to the next one.
Hey, man. Second topic of today. You're so beautiful, girl. Na, 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 na. This man wanted to delete it himself because he saw a beautiful girl. Now he might delete himself over the charges he's getting. His name is Sean Kingston. RJ.
Yeah, Sean Kingston, not to be confused with Sean King. Of course, the confusion is
He's pumping out.
understandable, seeing as they're both seems to they both seem to be something they are not. They seem to put a lot of effort in appearing to be to have morals and ethics. In any case, before we proceed with the topic, guys, remember to rate the show by pressing the like button, follow us on our socials, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, KR.
Yes, yes. Sean Kingston and mother charged with stealing 480K. It's a bit more money than I thought. Yeah, Sean Kingston has been hit with with a bunch of charges in South Florida, including stealing nearly $500,000 in jewelry. According to Rolling Stones, the beautiful girl singer is facing grand theft charges after he allegedly stole the jewelry, a Cadillac Escalade, and a custom bed worth more than 80K. Kingston is also accused of defrauding banks for more than $45,000, violating his probation for trafficking stolen property. So this is what he does these days, and writing bad checks. In total, he faces 10 different charges. Hey, this man is a total goon out here. Earlier this week, Kingston was arrested during a concert performance in California, love, on charges of fraud and theft. His mama was also charged and arrested and charged for numerous fraud and theft situations. Well, I didn't know this guy fell down to this steep to this level. This is very low.
Yeah.
To think that some of the guys we saw on TV, this is the problem. I think a lot of times people try to. Did you see the house his mom was arrested in?
No.
Quite big. I can imagine that in order to finance that house, you need to make money. But if you're a one-hit wonder, like he was, sometimes you need to lower the expenses
Yeah.
and stop keeping up with the Joneses.
Mhm.
RJ.
Yeah, I know of other cases where people can't leave the illegalities behind. Let me call it like that. So whether it be hood things or white collar crime things, but it's like when you have that um scheming part in you, that scheming way of thinking, the get money quick way of thinking, then you'll find yourself in one scheme or the other, whether it's like drugs or white collar crime or whatever. And oftentimes it's because you want the money, you don't want to, you're accustomed to a certain lifestyle and you want more, or you don't want to lose it. And in that desperation, and KR, one other thing, maybe you don't trust yourself that you can get that money a second time, because maybe deep down you're thinking it's luck that they chose you so you can, become an artist for a brief period of time, etc., etc. So hey, if this is a short thing, let me just hop on it.
He was arrested with his mother, so I guess there is no dad in the home. Did his
Yeah.
mother steer him the wrong direction?
Or yeah, it can be that, or it can be that he
They both are. Well,
Yeah.
I pretty much think they
I'll
both.
tell you this. I'll tell you this.
Oh my god.
For the prosecutor, it's not relevant.
You both are going to jail.
I don't
It's
care
crazy,
who.
man. It's crazy to think this guy made millions. In I think when it is that song came out. This song came
You
out
think that
in
was like
2008.
2008?
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
2008.
Wow. Yeah,
2008.
2008.
2008. So he the most his hit was a song where he says, "You're you're way too beautiful, girl. That's why it will never work. You have me deletion, self
Decided.
deletion,
Decided.
self deletion, boy. When you say it's over, damn, all these beautiful girls, they only want to do you dirt. They'll have you deletion, self deletion. When they say it's over, well, if you're in jail, they might call you girl as well, but the other type of girl you want.
The, they're-
Damn it.
they'll have
Oh,
you feeling the same way, and they're neither girls and probably nor beautiful. So it's,
that song might become reality for a second. Oh man, hey, Sean, man, this is crazy if you think about it. And 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 this is not the first time he got caught up. Last year, he was in another case where they're saying court documents obtained by Radar Online reveal that watch company DreamWatch has petitioned a court to award them $1 million for two unpaid watches, a Richard Mille model RM 65.01 automatic and a Patek Philippe Calibre Caliber or Calibre. I think it's Calibre, but anyway. Um, the company claims that Sean Kingston reached out to them in 2022 to purchase two watches, and a representative for the company flew from Malaysia to Los Angeles to furnish the singer with the watches. However, Sean Kingston reportedly never came through with the promised funds, even though he promised to compensate them via wire transfer. This is what he does these days. He's turned into a scammer, which is sad. But this is the thing. And the question we're gonna ask is: living beyond your means ever good? Wait a second. Let me turn this. Is living beyond your means ever a good thing? People mismanage their funds, to say the least. I would say, let me translate that to you, people. Bums will do bum things. Whether you have a hit song or not, if you have a bum mentality, you'll go out like a bum.
did you see the longest yard?
Yes.
Do you remember Tracy Morgan in the longest yard?
Yo,
No,
yo. He had also that Latino guy next to him, right?
I don't recall. Because there was one. No. I think the Latino guy was saying, because Tracy Morgan's character was saying that he had something with the Latino guy. The Latino guy was like, "Oh no, no, no,
Yeah.
you're
That
not."
was It wasn't. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my god, man.
Yeah.
Nah, man. But yeah, it's, it's
That
those are
was
the
it.
girls. Those are the girls. Well, it's either he's gonna deal with those girls or be one. In any case, uh, although at the same time, if
No
you're
daddy. No daddy. Well, daddy will. Oh, Florida.
Diddy
Desi
knows all.
Conte in Florida.
Yo, Diddy knows all of her.
He might become daddy's best friend. I have a special friend.
I think Diddy's nickname in the pen will be, ironically, Pen. PAN.
Let's continue. Man. Let's continue. Let chime in on the topic at hand, which is living beyond means ever a good thing?
No, it's not. It's never a good thing, and it's a sickness. I always say it's really a sickness. People, the whole industry, KR, the whole at least discussion that people are man should man should pay for everything. No, women should pay for something as well. Women should pay 50-50. Men should earn more. A woman can earn 10,000, but the man needs to earn more. Women can earn 25,000 a month, but the man needs to earn more. The man needs to provide. A woman can turn 60 years old and look like a bag of potatoes, and still you need to. That's a shot at Vivica Fox. Um,
He didn't have to name. He didn't have to name. Everyone knows. Everyone knows.
but no, it's all like more, and it's like, hey, but life is way more. It's about more than that. It's more about the
Inflecting on
finance, but
Mm.
everything is about earning more, living. It's never about, hey, how can we make better financial decisions so my wife and I, or my husband and I, or my girlfriend, boyfriend, or partner and I can enjoy life together, grow old together and just enjoy life without putting an extra burden on our and stress on our relationship. But that's never the discussion. It's very materialistic, and so it's never a good thing to live. It's never a good thing to live beyond your means. Now, of course, proponents of living on debt. So you have also the guy, not the guy Kawasaki, Robert Kiyosaki's of the world, who are pro debt, and they say um, encourage you to live on debt. What people are, but what people are not, some people don't understand is they're talking about, let's say, good debt, bad debt, and what, ask yourself, what do they do with the debt? It's people say, oh, Robert Kiyosaki said it's good, so I want this shirt. I want to buy Yeezys. I don't know when I'll get them, but I'll buy them because I don't have anything to do with my money. And then, and then complain because ye rather would rather do adult content.
Hey man, don't let me turn into the Cosmic Pastor out here. Don't let me turn into the Cosmic Pastor out. Hey man, but you're right. People buy Mercedes Benz. Something. Oh, there was this. I do agree with you. There was this story of a lady telling, this it went viral on TikTok, where she basically was explaining both her and her husband have trucks. His monthly payment is like 1,500 and her monthly payment is like 1,200, something like that. And they couldn't afford one truck. So, but because her truck is the newer one, or it was the other way around, I don't remember. There was a difference between the two. They were gonna bring back the other car because they couldn't afford it. I mean, why are you both driving cars that you didn't put any money down because or minimum, because if you're paying a car note of 1,200 a month, that means that you can't afford it. Anyway, but yeah, people are living. They are stretching their finances just to look good for the gram,
Yeah.
while other bums are out here also taking pictures. Everyone is trying to up each other with shitty debt, because you can do nothing with that debt. You can do nothing,
Yeah, I think
and
it's
that's why.
yeah. Now
I'm
continue.
not gonna, no, I don't have anything to.
No, I just want to say this would be my last comment, so I need to go as well. but the money is something that you need to understand, and people expect. So there are a couple of things that are, when you say you want to become a pilot, what do people say? Hey, you need to learn how to become a pilot. Hey, you need to become a whatever, a lawyer. You need to go study it to become a lawyer. But there are certain things that people don't realize that they need to train themselves in becoming better in. Relationships are one. Manage money, finances, money, financial management is another. And um, yeah, as long as these things aren't, as long as you don't invest in yourself to understand these things better, then you keep making unnecessary mistakes.
And you find yourself with bums.
You just wanted to say bumps. You just wanted an excuse to use the word bumps.
Hey, that's
Like a
that's
bump.
that's gonna be my on a shirt. Don't hang with bums with our logo below it. So
Yeah, and then with a picture of someone ordering Yeezys. Guys, thanks for if you've made it this far, thank you for watching. We don't have the short thought segment in today's show. This is a bit of a shorter show, but let us know your thoughts and opinions on the topics we discussed. And whatever your thoughts are, let us know in the comment section below. Your engagement is much appreciated, and we enjoy them. Even the engagements, the comments that the haters leave. Rate the show by pressing the like button. Follow us on our other socials. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as we always say, let's have a healthy conversation in the comment section below. We'll see each other in the next one. Until next time.
peace.